Hey, this is David McCree, CPA, the Nonprofit Tax Guy. Question: is our organization's May 15th, 2020 due date for the Form 990 postponed until July 15, 2020? The executive answer to that is yes. You do not need to file Form 8868 to enjoy the postponed time to file. However, if you cannot file the return by July 15th, 2020, you must file Form 8868 on or before July 15, 2020 to request a further extension of time to file. November 15, 2020 is the extended due date for those organizations filing Form 8868. So if you can't make the May 15, 2020 due date, you don't have to file an extension, but you need to file by July 15th, or file an extension request by July 15th. Okay? If you can't make the May 15th, 2020 due date, but you want to go ahead and just request a 6-month extension, it's okay to do that. You can just go ahead and file for an extension. This postponement applies to Form 990N, Form 990EZ, 990, 990T, 990PF for private foundations, and others. Now let's look at some of the due dates that are affected here. So organizations with the following fiscal year ends will get relief from the COVID due date postponement. Fiscal year ending November 30th, 2019. The return would normally be due on April 15th, 2020. That is postponed until July 15th, 2020. Fiscal year ending December 31st, 2019, also known as the calendar year end. It's normally due May 15, 2020. That's postponed to July 15, 2020. Fiscal year ending January 31st, 2020. It's normally due June 15th, 2020. That is postponed to July 15th, 2020. And again, these postponements happen without filing a request for extension. Now, what about if your return is already under an extension? Well, let's have a look at some other scenarios here. Organizations which have a return currently under valid extension because they timely filed Form 8868 as follows will get relief. A fiscal year ending May 31st, 2019, which is already under a valid extension by filing Form 8868, it's already extended to April 15th, 2020. That due date is postponed to July 15th, 2020. If you have a fiscal year ended June 30, 2019, and it is already extended to May 15th, 2020, that's postponed to July 15th. Fiscal year ended July 31st, 2019, assuming it's already extended to June 15th, 2020, that is postponed to July 15th, 2020. Again, and you don't have to file anything to do that. But with these that are already under an extension, once you get to July 15, 2020, that is the drop dead due date. Okay, there's no more extensions. You are extended all the way out at that point. Get her filed. So that's all you really need to know, but if you're interested in knowing where to find this information, and so you don't just have to take my word for it, I encourage you to look into it for yourself. So go to the irs.gov website, okay, and then you're going to come over here to the Charities and Nonprofits link up in the upper right corner. If you are on a tablet or something like that and you don't have this full screen, then you're not going to have that link. So then you need to go to the menu and come down and choose Charities and Nonprofits. Okay. If you have a full screen, then come up here to this link, Charities and Nonprofits. Okay, then you're going to come down here to Annual Filings and Forms, Annual Reporting and Filing. And they tell you right here, front and center, and it took them a long time to update this and get the correct information up here, I must say. So they tell you right up front the due date for filing most information in tax returns, including the Form 990 series, is postponed to July 15th. For details, see this frequently asked questions here. So we're going to click on that, and it gives you some background here of the various notices that they have issued. But just to get to the bottom line here, who is eligible for relief under Notice 2020-23, and this is the latest notice, which was issued, I believe, April 9th, 2020. Nothing like a last-minute notification. So who is eligible? And this is important. Any person with a federal tax payment or return or other filing due on or after April 1st, 2020 and before July 15th, 2020. That's who's eligible for relief. Okay. Now, what are the form numbers of the specific federal tax returns due that are eligible for this relief? Okay. And it tells you then that Notice 2023 identifies the specific form numbers, and it kind of doesn't come out and say it, but there are some forms that are not listed in Notice 20-23, but they do qualify for relief. And why are they not listed? Well, because there's just too darn many of them to list. That's why. So they refer you to Revenue Procedure 2018-58 for the remainder of the list, and we'll have a quick look at that in a minute. So of interest here, I am a fiscal year filer who filed an extension of time to file my federal income tax return for fiscal year 2019. So this would include nonprofits. The extended due date is April 15, 2020. Am I an effective taxpayer eligible for relief? Okay, and we talked about that a minute ago. Yes, the relief provided in Notice 2020-23 applies to federal income tax returns and payments and postpones it until July 15, 2020. And here it says, if your federal income tax return is due on April 15, 2020, whether that is the original due date or the due date on extension, your due date is postponed to July 15th. Okay, now they keep talking about April 15th due date here. So to clarify this, the next question says, are the filing and payment deadlines for exempt organizations that have filing due dates on May 15th or June 15th or some other date besides April 15th also postponed? And so this is the key. All federal income tax return filings and payments due on or after April 1st, 2020 and before July 15th, 2020 are now due on July 15th, 2020. So that's the answer right there to that. Of course, this is the IRS website. It's not ultimately the most authoritative thing. So I'm going to show you here, this is a list of the notices that have been issued for this COVID episode. First, it was Notice 2020-18, and that's when they came out and said that your Form 1040 was extended. Okay. Then they issued Notice 2020-21, and it was something about the tax credits. Okay. And then Notice 2020-22 provided a relief from the penalty for failure to deposit employment taxes. And all this time we're waiting, to find out, did they extend the Form 990 or did they not? So finally they came out with Notice 2020-23, which amplified the relief provided in prior notices and extended additional key tax deadlines for taxpayers. And if you go to click on this Notice 2020-23, and this is it, and if you just read through taxpayers affected by COVID-19 emergency, a grant of relief, what you'll find is it does not mention Form 990 in there anywhere. It mentions Form 990T right here, but not Form 990. So where does this relief come from? Well, it comes from this little paragraph here tacked on. And it basically says the Secretary of the Treasury has also determined that any person performing a time-sensitive action listed in this regulation or in Revenue Procedure 2018-58, if you're listed in that, then you're also covered under this. Okay, so then we have to go to Revenue Procedure 2018-58, which is here. Revenue Procedure 2018-58, and it basically says this revenue procedure provides an updated list of time-sensitive acts, the performance of which may be postponed under sections 7508 and 7508A. Okay, so section 7508A permits a postponement of the time to perform specified acts for taxpayers affected by a federally declared disaster, etc. Okay, so it updates a list. Where's the list? Well, you just scroll down a little bit, and here it is. And it's an extensive list of various time-sensitive acts which the Treasury Department has the authority to postpone. And let's see, if you scroll down, I think it's page 1006. Let's see. Page 1005, Section 10, exempt organization issues. Okay, so these are time-sensitive acts, and we come down a little further, and here we are. Section 6033, okay, annual returns including Form 990 series of organizations exempt from tax under Section 501A. Right, so there you go. The notice says you're exempt if you're listed in this revenue procedure, and Form 990 is listed right here in this revenue procedure. Okay, this is the way that they get things done. Okay, if you're still hanging with me and following through all this, congratulations. I'm surprised. It even bores me. However, this is the nitty-gritty. So I hope that's been helpful to you. I hope that answers your questions. I hope it provides you with a place to go and look for yourself. And good luck. Thanks for listening.